Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, February 23rd, 2016, there was big news in the UFC. The upcoming bout for March 5th between Conor McGregor and Rafael dos Anjos was canceled because dos Anjos is claiming he has a broken foot and cannot fight on March 5th with his injury. This is deja vu for Conor McGregor fans. Last July, he had a fight scheduled against Jose Aldo, which was canceled exactly 11 days before the fight, just as was done yesterday with Rafael dos Anjos. So, what I want to show in this video is why the fight was really canceled. I guarantee you, Dos Anjos does not have a broken foot in the same way that Jose Aldo didn't have a broken rib. The UFC is scripted by numbers from the length of the fights to even the shenanigans that go on outside the ring, such as canceling based on false excuses. So, check this out. As I've been explaining, the Freemasons control the world of professional sports. NBA, NFL, MLB, UFC, and more. It is a Freemason circus. This fight was canceled exactly 42 days after it was announced. The fight was scheduled officially as of January 12th. It was canceled 42 days later, February 23rd. And 42 is a Freemason signature. Notice that Freemason and Pythagorean gematria equals 42, just like the month of February. February, the only month with 42 gematria. As for canceling it on the date February 23rd, there's multiple things that are interesting about this date. Let's begin with Masonic in Jewish gematria, which equals 223. A lot like 2/23 for February 23rd. Also, with regards to the main attraction, Conor McGregor, Conor is a name with Jewish gematria of 223. And as I've been explaining in prior videos, Conor McGregor, very likely a Freemason. A man who's made many quotes about being the master of the numbers in his life, which they're scripted by. It's like he's almost trying to tell his fans the truth. His fights are scripted, and all the shenanigans that go on with them. If you don't read the Bible, the final book of the Bible is Revelation. In Revelation, it says the false Jews will rule in the end times. And, the end times in the Bible, it's hard to say how long of a period of time that is. There's all sorts of speculation. But what's easy to see is that in this world that we live in, the false Jews do rule. Those are the Zionist Jews. Orthodox Jews don't believe that there should be a Jewish state. Israel's the Jewish state, it's the Zionist state. And the majority of Jews alive today believe in the state of Israel, meaning the majority of Jews alive are false Jews. Anyhow, I'm not talking about all Jews, I'm just talking about the ones who control the media and control the world of sports, which is unanimous. Anyone who's ever looked at the names of the people who control every major television network throughout this world, they're all Jew names, and the only ones who don't have Jew names are Jews who've changed their name into something else. So anyhow, let's go back to this whole broken foot thing. Speaking of Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible, the final book of the Bible, Conor McGregor, his opponent, was supposed to be Jose Aldo, who won his last fight in 66 seconds on the date with 66 numerology, having a birthday October 26th that leaves 66 days left in the year. I have a video talking about that. Anyhow, Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible, has gematria of 49 and 121. Broken foot also has gematria of 49 and 121. This goes very nicely with his last fight that lasted 66 seconds. Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible. Also, the date this fight was announced, 42 days before it was canceled, was a date with 49 numerology. As I continue to explain, the Masons, the Zionists, they use the spiritual texts as a playbook, the same way football coaches have a playbook. In fact, our entire nation, much of its history, is based on Revelation. If you read the book of Revelation, it's 7 of this, 4 of that, 7 of this, 4 of that. Think about this nation's birthday, 7th month, 4th day. Masonic equals 74 in simple English gematria. So anyhow, we've covered the Revelation connections, the Masonic connections from Conor to the people who control the UFC. Here's what else is interesting. If you count the end date from February 23rd to March 5th, is a span of 12 days. Broken foot. How many inches in a foot? Yes, 12. So I think this is also part of the riddle. Broken foot. The fighter replacing Dos Anjos also fought the same day Dos Anjos did, December 19th, 2015. The date was 66 numerology. He wasn't on the main ticket. He was the subheadline, the second most important fight that day. Dos Anjos defeated Donald Cerrone in the main event. The fight before that, Diaz won. So Diaz is now being substituted for Dos Anjos. Let me show you why he is a fitting opponent. His name is Nathan Donald Diaz. Interesting name gematria. Notice that Nathan Diaz has gematria of 44 and Nate Diaz, what he goes by, has gematria of 35. The fight is on March 5th, 2016, a date with 44 numerology. Something I talked about in the first video I did on the upcoming McGregor-Dos Anjos fight when it was announced after January 12th. It's also on 3/5, March 5th. Nate Diaz equals 35, a lot like the date. 3/5, a date with 44 numerology. Something else that stands out to his name, not as relevant, but interesting to me from doing this research. Nathan Diaz in simple English gematria equals 98, the number that's often connected to prophecy. The word prophet has gematria of 98. Conor McGregor has referred to himself as a prophet. Perhaps this is all part of the coding, this is all part of the Conor McGregor prophecy, if you will. This very arrogant fighter who runs his mouth and fights in rigged fights that are scripted in his favor. I don't know why, possibly because his father is somebody in his family is well invested in this masonry ring, or him himself. There's some reason he's chosen. Nate Diaz comes into the fight with a record of 18 wins, 10 losses. Not the most impressive record. Not going to be as an exciting of a fight for the fans, I imagine. But again, he did fight the last day that Dos Anjos also fought. He won. He defeated Michael Johnson. It went all 3 rounds. It went to decision. And again, just to go back in time, this happened again. Jose Aldo was defeated by Conor McGregor, but that fight was rescheduled for December 12th after it was canceled on July 11th. If you've missed my prior work on McGregor's rigged fights, the videos are all there for you to watch. A lot of Freemason coding in Conor McGregor. That's why it's so fitting for his fight to be rescheduled according to the Masonic numbers. Any UFC fan who is continuing to say this is all coincidence, just take a look in the mirror and recognize the truth of your existence. You're just a little silly sheeple. You're not very smart. You don't know the difference between coincidence and truth. And you talk bullshit. Just like your boy Conor McGregor. Honestly, I wonder who the fans are of this man in this world. Anybody who's a fan of Conor McGregor, a pathetic individual indeed. So here it is, Truth Seeker. Rig sports, by the numbers, decoded again. People gotta wake up. People gotta wake up and stop dismissing truth. Until next time. Encore. For anyone who missed my prior video where I showed this tweet, please think about this. Conor McGregor writes, "My life is numbers and sequences, and I am the master of both." Now think about what I have been showing for months with regards to gematria and numerology. Sequences, numbers, patterns. And then what do we get? A major fight cancellation on February 23rd corresponding with his name. And think about what he represents: selfishness, ego, all the things that are wrong. You know, people who act polite and humble, he sits there and mocks them and talks about how great he is. Unfortunately, people in this world absorb that and take on those values and think that that's a cool way to be. This guy, a perfect model for the synagogue of Satan. All right, until next time.